With Loki coming to an end, the multiverse seems to be kicking off in the MCU. With Spider-Man No Way Home's trailer confirming the involvement of Doctor Strange, we can only imagine which horrors he'll face in Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness coming out next year. Welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host Taylor McWaters, and here are the top 10 Doctor Strange villains we want in the MCU. Let's get mystical. Kicking off the list at number 10, Shuma-Gorath. We'll kick this list off with one of the old gods who came to Earth millions of years ago. Only seems fair. Shuma-Gorath made its first full appearance in Marvel Premiere issue 10. The Great Old One was banished from the Earth realm by a time-traveling sorcerer, Neg. Now Doctor Strange actually witnessed this happen because he himself was hoping to take down Shuma-Gorath in the past in order to prevent his master, the Ancient One, from meeting their fate with that same beast. So we just got Starro in the DCEU, so I don't think this tentacle monster could be too far out of the MCU, especially considering the fact that we saw a similar looking monster in episode 1 of What If, and then again in episode 4 of What If. Number 9. Satannish. First appearing in Doctor Strange issue 174, Satannish is one of the most powerful demons Earth has had to face. Created by the big bad of Doctor Strange 1, Dormammu, Satannish, as his name hints towards, is an undercover agent inside the Hell Lords. He lives comfortably in the dimension adjacent to Earth's, which he of course rules. If you decide to follow Satannish, he would promise you superhuman powers, so how could you avoid a face like that? Or rather, two faces like that. He has a face on his stomach and then a face on his face. So you're gonna be doing this to him the whole time you're talking to him. You're not gonna know where to look. He's a class 2 demon, so when it comes to power, he's next in line right after Mephisto, who I may or may not mention on this list. He can open portals, fire mystical rays, and create mystical rays and barriers. He can do anything mystical. And as far as demons go, there's no place like home when he's residing in his own dimension. He's much, much stronger. So maybe Strange will end up in this dimension during his cosmic commute in the multiverse in the next movie. We're hoping. Number 8. Nightmare. Making his first debut back in Strange Tales 110. Nightmare's origins remain a mystery and is only known to few. Just like Eternity, he too is a deity. Guy's just trouble. He was born in the Everine dimension and he was seen as a cousin to the Dweller in the Darkness, but Nightmare didn't want any of that. He's the ruler of the Dream Dimension now, hence his name, and is one of the Lords of Fear. He's usually a villain to Ghost Rider and Strange, but I can see him making an appearance in the next Doctor Strange movie. All these multiple universes, he could at least show up for a bad dream or two. I don't know. And before we continue on with this list, if you want to go ahead and give us a thumbs up, that would be awesome. It really does help our videos out a lot, so hit that thumbs up, smash that button. You guys are great. Let's get back to the list. Number 7. Umar. Umar the Unrelenting. There's a name right there. She first appeared in Strange Tales issue 150. She was spawned alongside her older twin brother Dormammu by Sinifer, who was a Faltine. Faltines are beings of pure magical energy that again live in their own dimension. Usually when Faltines spawn, those new beings are the same as the previous ones, but here, something was different. These spawns craved physical matter, so when Sinifer tried to stop them, the pair transmuted him from energy into matter, basically killing him. The rest of the Faltine were angered, and then they kicked Dormammu and Umar out of their dimension. Their next stop was the Dark Dimension, inhabited by the sorcerers known as the Maruks. When Dormammu attempted to invade Earth, he was defeated, essentially breaking a spell that previously banished Umar. So her first plan now was to avenge her twin brother, and she did so by luring Strange into the Dark Dimension by holding his love hostage. Number 6. Yandroth. First appearing in Strange Tales issue 164, Yandroth was once a scientist who went head to head with Doctor Strange numerous times. You know how these scientists be beefing, you know, Elon and Tim Apple, whatever his name is. Strange of course beat him, but even better than that, he sent him through an alternate dimension where he was just free falling for all of eternity. Kind of like what happened to Loki in the Sanctum Sanctorum in Thor Ragnarok. It was there that Yandroth learned that he could gain power simply by, you know, destroying an entire world. That ought to do it. So he created an Omegatron, which was not a Decepticon, but rather a be-all end-all of devices. He called himself the Scientist Supreme, and I don't think it's going to be long before this reality-warping sorcerer scientist joins the MCU. We already have like 5 of them, I think. Number 5. Satana. Making her first appearance in Vampire Tales issue 2, Satana Hellstrom was born a couple years after her brother Damon. Now when she was just a child, her mother had found Satana and her father, the devil, performing some black magic in their New England basement. Victoria was of course shocked. She was scared, pretty much exactly how you'd feel if you found your husband and daughter doing voodoo in the basement. You know, it would feel like that. She went mad when she witnessed her husband's true other appearance, as a demon. So Damon was then placed in an orphanage while Satana was taken to the underworld to begin her training with the use of her demonic powers. Satana was later possessed by a demon called the Basilisk, but she remained in control over her mind and body, and even the Basilisk. The more she used the Basilisk to do her bidding, the stronger it would get, and therefore increased the risk of it one day turning against her. When she arrived to Earth, she was hungry for souls, so we could use that in the MCU for sure. Anyone hungry for souls? Hamburger, hot dogs, souls? We got it, let's do it. Number 4. Null, the Living Darkness. First appearing in Defenders issue 103, Null is a demonic entity created by the negative impulses of the Seraph, who once upon a time occupied Earth's moon. How lovely. It gained full consciousness and first took over the town of Christiansboro, Virginia, until a gargoyle drove it away later that same issue. It then possessed the body of Adam Henderson, but this time around it was defeated by Ghost Rider. Next, the Living Darkness traveled to Earth 712 and it managed to take over all of the United States, but it was destroyed by the Defenders and the Squadron Supreme. The more demonic entities in the MCU, the better. That's what I gotta say about that. Number 3. Kaluu. First appearing in Strange Tales issue 147, Kaluu was born over 500 years ago in a small area in the Himalayan mountains in Tibet. He grew up and befriended a boy named the Ancient One, and together they both shared interest in practicing the mystical arts. Later on, an evil vampire named Varney met with Kaluu and taught him about black magic, straight up from the Darkhold, the Book of the Damned. So with this new dark knowledge, Kaluu tried to rule Kamar Taj. He used his powers to influence the mind of residents and then made them immortal, so naturally they now looked up to this higher power. But with that, he slowly started to control their minds, but they didn't realize. Before the Ancient One's death, Kaluu tried to steal the Book of the Vishanti from them. Doctor Strange and the Ancient One had to steal the book back, memorize its spells, and then toss it back in time to its origin point in Babylonia. So Strange then went back in time, used that book to turn Kaluu's spell onto him, and then casted him into suspended animation. I would love to watch sorcerers play time travel football with a book of magic. I'd watch that any day. Dev it. Number 2. Amora. She made her first debut in Journey into Mystery issue 103, and she has a pretty sweet life, I'm not gonna lie. She's got multiple mansions throughout all the realms, and she can make gold and diamonds with her tears. She's really good at seducing people as well. It's almost her superpower, some would say. One kiss is all it takes for her to completely own you and tell you what to do. In the comics, she was sent by Odin to take out Jane Foster because the whole relationship with Thor, that was a no-go. So she tried to attack Jane and Thor intervened, and in turn she was banished to Earth by Odin, where she then joined the Masters of Evil. She's of course gotten on Strange's bad side, you know, being a magic user and all, and in Captain Marvel Volume 10 issue 6, she Freaky Fridays Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel. They straight up swap bodies. So Strange had the magic community ban her from learning magic. More than fair. Also the card community for Magic the Gathering, they're like, you know what, we don't want her either. We'll ban her as well. And finally, number 1, you guessed it, Mephisto. Fans wanted this dude back during WandaVision, so of course we're still holding out hope for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Mephisto first made his appearance in Silver Surfer issue 3. He's the ruler of Hades. He's known for his sweet deals in Marvel Comics. The One More Day storyline is about Spider-Man selling his marriage to Mephisto in order to save a dying Aunt May. So you really don't want to see him at all, if anything. Strange and Mephisto have had their moments in comics, of course. In Doctor Strange Volume 2 issue 17, Mephisto used James Mandarin to lure Strange to hell. Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme issue 6, he has to fight Mephisto, Mephisto's daughter. One of my favorite comics with these two though has to be Doctor Strange issue 386, where Steven tries to repair Las Vegas but accidentally brings up Hotel Inferno, where he then has to play Brimstone Blackjack with the devil. Trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home doesn't give away too much, but fans don't believe that Mephisto is part of this movie as well. Question for you guys, who would you cast as the Prince of Darkness? Let us know in the comments down below. Guys, those are just 10 Doctor Strange villains we could totally use in the MCU, but before you go, comment down below any other villains that we missed. We love hearing from you. I've been your host, Taylor McWaters. Keep on being you, and we'll see you next time on Top 10 Nerd. Later, skaters.